What is up, guys? Alright, on today's episode, what do we got? We got this Prius. It's a what is it? 05, 07, one of those. So we're doing a water pump and we're doing the front wheel bearings today. Not sure if I want to film everything. What I've noticed is when I'm using the GoPro, the file is very large files, and I'm editing from my cell phone because that's the quickest editing app that I have on my cell phone. It's just, I'm used to it. I don't have to think about it. And so when I'm trying to download these things onto my phone, it's just a whole bunch of gymnastics just to edit the video. You know, I have to delete files and do this and that. So whatever. Anyway, long story short, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you just clips of it rather than the whole operation. Alright, so here we go. We're going to jack up the car, put it on jack stands, of course. Remove, I guess, part of the intake here to expose the water pump and the tensioner and whatnot mechanism there. And then, of course, the two tires, when we remove them, we're going to have access to the, you know, the hubs and everything else, and the, you know, the whole contraption. You get the picture. So let's go ahead and start now. Alright guys, so my GoPro is acting out for some reason. These things, man, the battery life is horrible. Just FYI, if you're using it to try to film a YouTube video, I don't know if it's the best investment to make. But anyway, so I'm using my phone now. I already took the pulley off. I had to create some room here, so the air cleaner is out. The air duct is to the side, you know, and now I have good access to the water pump. Tensioner, you know, you have to loosen the 14mm nut on the side of it here, the pulley, and you have to, this 12mm tensioning bolt, you're going to run it down until you the belt has some slack. Now I'm just going to go and find the drain plug on the radiator so we can drain whatever fluid is left inside the system, and then we're going to take those a few 10mm bolts from the water pump and hopefully get this thing out of here, and then we'll bring you guys back. Okay, so there you go, we're draining. I put a little tube to kind of contain the mess a little bit so we don't have a, anyway, so the drain plug is on the driver's side. Interesting, what is that device? Is that some type of NI theft or something like that? Who knows? Anyhow, let's get my light back here. Alright, now this draining, I already took out this this radiator cap. Just gonna wait it out. Once we drain everything out of there, then I'll go ahead and move on towards the water pump itself. Alright, I'll put you guys back there. And this I'm showing basically the customer. I was making a video for him to show him the state of the belt and letting him know that I was going to order a new belt to put on. And that's what it was, but I decided to include it in the video, and I decided to you know, voice over it. Alright, back to the video. Okay, so we made a little bit of progress here. So this brake contraption has been released. The CV axle is out. This is on the passenger side. Calipers hanging on the strut there. So now we're going to pop this little ring here. Hopefully it doesn't get deformed in the process, because we'd have to reuse that. There you go, that's not too bad. Alright, so just make sure the hole is going to have to line up with the speed sensor when you're going back in. So of course you have to remove the speed sensor first before you get stuck. Now I'm hoping that this is not going to be stuck because it's a Texas car and it'll just be nice to me, but we won't know until we go in there. So these looks like maybe 12 or 13s. 14s they are, okay. I like Toyota, they're pretty consistent with the even numbers. Alright, so now I'm going to get this kind of out of my way a little bit. Just gonna show you one, and maybe not. Alright, we're gonna do the same thing for the rest of the 3. And here we go. Fasteners out. It should just drop usually, but if it doesn't, we're gonna have to convince it a little bit. So that, hopefully it's not too frozen in there. It's coming up. I can see it separating now. Bye. It's coming. Almost there. Yep. Violence is needed sometimes. This is making way too much noise here. What I'm going to do is now, I'm going to attach it back to the strut temporarily to get some stability, and I'm going to just try to pry it out the rest of the way because of the noise. Okay, so that seemed to work. I will straighten out this backing plate, but not too much. That's about it. Alright, so I'm going to leave it at that for now. I'm going to be back a little bit later. We do have a funeral today. One of our good brothers from the from around the way here just passed away, so funeral is going to be just now. So, and that noise, of course. So we'll be back. We'll do the same thing on the other side. I'm not going to film the other side. Same process. Hopefully, not too much work, and that's about it. Then we'll come and I'll show you the water pump. How we're going to do with that. How we're going to deal with that. All right, guys. We're back at the house. So now we're going to just clean up the hub, the spindle, and then I'm going to grease it a little bit. That's my method before we go ahead and put these things in. So there goes nothing. Man, this brush fit like a glove. It's got the perfect fit. Alright, so I think it's good enough for me. Now we're going to take some, you can do NICs if you want. You can do silicone paste, whatever, it's your preference. We'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to do some NICs only because why not? Not too much, just a little bit, because you don't want to just smear and get on the speed sensor there. So just a little bit. That's plenty. NICs now is extremely. I didn't do the face of it because, as you can see, this is not a problem here in Texas. We don't have this issue. So if you want to do a little bit here and there, but honestly, this is inconsequential. We're really concerned about is the inside of it. All right, so it goes up bearing. Nothing crazy, just from the local store here. I'm about to use 2 hands because I do need to line up the bolt holes and everything else with the dust shield. So the dust shield, I'm not even sure if this was flat. Yeah, it had to be. So I gotta make sure I hit it flat. So I need 2 hands to do that. I'll be back. And from the design, you can see there's an orientation. So this the smaller part at the bottom goes towards the top here. Look at. So it's narrow at the top, wider at the bottom. So that's kind of how it goes. Gonna go. Just remember that, so you don't just go crazy here. And we're using some blue thread locker just to, help it out. Oh boy, so this other side was a lot harder. This guy was really frozen in there, and it came in multiple pieces, as you can see, but it was really frozen in there. So I had to literally get the spindle completely out of the car and set it up on this little rig here and just beat on it with the socket, right on top right there, and just go at it with the hammer and finally it came off. I mean, it was a fight, honestly. So this one's gonna have a really good liberal coat of NICs after I've done, of course, polishing it with the wire wheel, which is next to come. All right, guys. All right, so finally done with this bedding. This side was really a nightmare. But so now we're moving on to the water pump. Now it comes the phase of actually removing the water pump. I got my drain pan underneath in case. I drain most of it through the radiator. Alright. Not too tight. Cool. Come on. I think I'm gonna just elect to do this off camera for the sake of time. Alright. Sometime when you buy the one from AutoZone, they come with new bolts, which I like. So if you got a 2.4 Toyota, get the Duralast water pump. It's really good. It's really good. It comes with some brand new bolts, and it looks good quality. I'm going to leave that one on there. Alright, how many more we got? One on the other side, which I'm going to need a deep socket. Whoop. Yeah, man. This GoPro really let me down. Battery life really let me down. Alright. I think I'm on it. Yeah, I'm on it. Alright. How many more we got? Maybe one more at the bottom. Oh, this is a nut, okay. So, is it one at the bottom? Yes, I'm feeling one right there at the bottom. Alright. Good thing about a metal gasket is, but you see the whip hole this bearing was bad for a long time. Anyway, let me not bend that gasket in case I have to reuse it, because I would. It's a metal gasket, so. But we have another metal gasket, so. Yeah, it looks like the port right there. No bolts though. So and we use our factory fasteners. Cool guy. Let me see if there's anything to clean up here. Which, honestly, maybe a wipe. There was no silicone. There's nothing, no residues or nothing like that. It's just. All right. Let me go ahead and do that. All right. New one is in. The fasteners. I'm gonna put those two nuts first to kind of stabilize it. I'm gonna just keep it stable. Okay. Now we're gonna do the rest of the bolts. I'm gonna put the clean bolts at the bottom this time, and the one that's like full of crud or coolants, I'm gonna leave them on top. Okay, can't find a bolt hole there, so let's move on to the next one. We'll get it from the bottom, it's easier. All right. This style water pump is so popular with these guys. Extremely popular. I don't think it's different from the 2.4 and 2.5. I like the consistency of Toyota. Go underneath, probably easier for me. Again, access to the last fastener. That requires a deep socket. And come on out. And the last one on top, which I've never seen them leak from that side. That would be against gravity. Alright, you come on. I do want to snug the one on the side first. Just because. Alright, and get extension. Alright, that's good enough right there. That's good. That's good. The top one. That's good. Alright. Now, what do we got left? Put the pulley back. I'm going to go ahead and run a wire wheel inside of this pulley quickly. Make it look nice and neat and shiny. Then I'm going to slap it on there, put the new belt, and I'll bring you guys back.